welcome to another episode, Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of amazing entrepreneurs, such as Jonathan Warren Carroll, 1912 Coffee. And we are drinking the 1912 coffee. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Tell us a little bit more about the angle of the business that you have with coffee.
Well, I used to run and own a small independent coffee shop myself, which I started in 2012. Excuse me. And did all the social media, all the marketing, the photography. The logo was my design concept, and then the branding, of course. And then I realized after 4 years, it had become one of the most sought after coffee shops that people would go to, and definitely the top 5 in the state of Arizona. So with all that hard work, I realized I can create something that will help other small independent coffee shops statewide, and that's why I created 1912 Coffee to do just that.
Gotcha. And so you were kind of a business coach for coffee owners or people that want to get into.
Yeah, we do marketing and social media and photography and branding and consulting as well. To kind of visit different shops and kind of figure out what they can do better, what they're doing well, but then give them some reasons and ways that we can improve those things. So that's pretty much the niche that we have.
What do you find that some of these coffee entrepreneurs are not doing well?
Well, I mean, for example, there's a lot that want to be third wave, which is they're about educating their customer base and they're about quality and consistency in their products. So a lot of them kind of have that front and that face, if you will, but they're not really showcasing how to make the proper drinks, like a cappuccino and a macchiato. Like a lot of people think of a macchiato as a caramel macchiato, which is what Starbucks coined.
Right.
And they kind of ruined what a traditional macchiato is. And so, if we see that on their menu, it'll be like, do you understand what the difference is between a traditional and a Starbucks drink? So just little small things like that will improve them educating their clientele. And if their menu looks like something out of the 70s, we'll kind of talk to them about that. And so it's a difficult task because most people don't like being told they're not good at something or they need to improve on something. A lot of people don't like constructive criticism. So we have some techniques where we go in and we'll say, like, what you're doing here is good, but these are some ways that we can improve it. And that's kind of our technique, instead of going in there and saying, what you're doing is horrible, and we're going to fix it, because then they'll just be like, there's the door. So
right. No, and I get that. So as 1912, what other services do you provide those entrepreneurs? I mean, do you provide them the coffee as well, or what else do you do?
We're just specifically marketing and branding
just
and social
marketing
media.
And branding?
Yeah, we don't provide any like beans or anything like that. I mean, there are a lot of local roasters we could recommend if they wanted to go that route. If they wanted to change their whole setup, we could consult with them and give them some ideas of how to make things better. But yeah, we don't have beans or coffee ourselves. So.
How does one coffee place distinguish from another coffee place? Because I remember a few years ago people were saying maybe the market is so saturated right now that the last thing that we need is just another coffee place or another coffee brand to come in here, but we keep drinking coffee.
I think a lot of coffee shops more or less are kind of the same, but in this day and age, you really want to be unique in your branding and what you offer your clients. I mean, every coffee shop offers a latte or a cappuccino, but to be different, you want to create some kind of menu or some kind of pastry that's different from everyone else. That way, you're creating that clientele that's just coming to you instead of other shops.
You have to have an angle.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have just a different way of looking at things, because there's so much competition out there that you have to be different.
You have to be different. And so you come in, you look at the business, and you provide that angle. In other words, you tell them, this is how I'm going to differentiate you.
Exactly. We don't really go in and we have meetings. We don't really go in and demand they change things. We just kind of give them input, and here are some things that we can improve. This is going to bring you more clientele. If it's a coffee shop that's more like sugary drinks, like a Starbucks kind of thing, where their clientele wants to order a Frappuccino or something like that, there's nothing wrong with going in there and implementing a system where we can retrain their entire staff to be educated on coffee, to become passionate about coffee, and then in return basically tell their customers what it's all about, like what's the proper, how do you make a latte and cappuccino, and where these beans come from, are they
Right.
single origin, like, you know, especially if you have customers that ask those questions, at least they can answer those questions instead of being like, I don't know.
What is the biggest resistance that you see from these coffee owners, coffee entrepreneurs, let's call it that?
It's a tough market. I've worked hard for 7 months now, just trying to influence coffee shop owners, and it's a difficult task because you know, a lot of people are kind of set in their ways. They don't want to change things.
They don't want to see the fact that perhaps with your assistance they can change their or increase their sales.
Right. I think right now that people are afraid to spend money to make money. And I mean, we're very, very affordable. If you hired a social media firm per month, it would run you $800 to $2,000 a month. If you hired a photographer, that's going to run you about the same. You know, and you know, our fees are minimal, and you know, it's essentially that's what we have to do to start as a startup to keep building, to keep our prices affordable, and you know, showcase to these business owners using, you know, analytics with Google, and then we can create a page on their website that will create analytics as well.
How did you get into this whole coffee business?
My ex-wife actually got me into coffee, which is which was amazing. I was never into coffee, you know, 6 years ago, until she came around, and so if there's one good thing that came out of that is that I got into coffee, and you know, I'm thankful for that. So.
That's cool. 1912 Coffee, Jonathan Warren. Carroll, man, I appreciate it. This
Yeah.
very good tasting coffee. And I know that you're working with one of our other interviewees, another one of our guests, and you've provided incredible insight. And I appreciate that. You're gonna have to come back and make some coffee for us, man.
Will do.
Jonathan, thank you so much. I appreciate it. With
got it.
that, we're out.